African institution, Africa Finance Corporation, was received in audience this Friday at the Cabinet of Governance Prime Minister G24 Bekale to discuss investment issues in Gabon. The Great National Dialogue launched by Cameroonian President Paul Biya opened this Monday in Yaoundé. A massive queue snuck round the Invalides complex to pay homage at the coffin of late French President Jacques Chirac ahead of a national day of mourning on Monday and a memorial service expected to be attended by dozens of world dailies. That's all for our top stories. Stay tuned in this newscast. Introduced to the Prime Minister's office by Olam's Group President and CEO Gangan Gupta, the business delegation went not only to pay to the Prime Minister the courtesy, but also and above all to express his gratitude to him. Their spokesperson, Zamaila Zubauri, on their way out, said that the AFC Group has been a major investor in the Cork Special Economic Zone for some years. It should be noted that the AFC Group invests in wood processing which, according to the spokesperson, has added value to the Gabonese economy. For him, investment has made possible to increase the wood yield rate from 45% to 98% in Gabon. Somaila Zubauru expressed his satisfaction and gratitude to the Gabonese authorities who continue to encourage international economic operators to invest in Gabon. There are several factors, according to him, that bring businessmen to invest in Gabon, including the stability of the country. The Cork Special Economic Zone is a good example of the project and can now be exported to other African countries, he said. In Cameroon, the Great National Dialogue, launched by Cameroon President Paul Biya in Yaoundé, opens on Monday. According to analysts, despite the head of state's outstretching hand, this dialogue is unlikely to lead a resolution for the conflict that is tearing apart the Anglophone part of the country. The dialogue, which is being held from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October and chaired by Prime Minister Joseph Dion Gouté, aims to put an end to the crisis in the two regions of the Northwest and the Southwest, where the most of Cameroonians' English-speaking minority lives. For the past 3 years, in these regions, the authorities have been dealing with a number of social demands from people who feel aggravated compared to the other part of the Francophone regions. Demands that have turned into murderous conflicts between radicalist armed independence groups and state security forces. A conflict that has killed as many as 30,000 people since the start of the crisis in 2017, according to the International Crisis Group in a report published last Thursday. In some Anglophone demands, a return to federalism or demands the repartition of the country, two hypotheses that Yaoundé refuses. After showing intransigence, President Biya conveyed a great national dialogue in Yaoundé in mid-September. But the International Crisis Group, the English-speaking separatists who dominate large areas in these regions, will not participate, as will the major international leaders. According to observers, the dialogue as envisaged risks emphasizing the frustration of English speakers, further widening the gap between the two sides and reinforcing the hardliners. The Élysée decided Monday, September 30th, a national day of mourning in France after Chirac died on Thursday at the age of 86. Two ceremonies will take place to honor the former president, prime minister and mayor of Paris. A private ceremony is set to take place at the Cathedral Les Invalides, where Chirac laid estate on Sunday. Chirac's casket leaves the Invalides at 11. A funeral service will take place at the Church of Saint-Sulpice at 12 in Paris' 6th arrondissement. French people will be able to pay their respect during the former head of state's journey from Les Invalides to Saint-Sulpice. Inside the court of honor at the Hôtel des Invalides, French President Emmanuel Macron arrived with Florence Parly, the French Minister of Armed Forces. Chirac's flat-draped coffin was laid in the middle of the court of honor. Chirac is receiving full military honors. The French national anthem, La Marseillaise, resonated throughout the court before the procession left the Hôtel des Invalides for the Church of Saint-Sulpice. Ethiopia's President Sahle-Work Zewde used her maiden speech at the United Nations to respond to Egypt's call for international intervention in the Nile Dam dispute. While Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi told the UN General Assembly that the Nile water is a matter of life and an issue of existence for Egypt, Sahle-Work sought to ease tensions. She told delegates that the River Nile should not be an object of competition and mistrust, adding that the dam project offered a unique opportunity for all the countries along the river to cooperate and share the waters. Sahle-Work Zewde reiterated our country's commitment to reach a deal over the Grand Renaissance Dam, which is being built on the Blue Nile near Ethiopia's border with Sudan. Egypt and Ethiopia have failed to agree on critical issues regarding the operation of the dam, including the amounts of water that should be released annually from the dam, and the speed at which Ethiopia fills up the dam's reservoir, which will affect the flow downstream.
Tunisia was ranked this year 51st out of 149 countries in terms of social progress, according to the Social Progress Index published on 23rd September, losing 3 places compared to the 2018 ranking. With a score of 72.33 out of 100, Tunisia appears among the most socially developed countries, ahead of countries such as Serbia, Russia and Turkey. At the Maghreb level, Tunisia is ahead of Algeria, 79th, Morocco, 82nd, and Mauritania, 138th. Libya is not included in this ranking. The same goes for Arab countries, where Tunisia leads the United Arab Emirates 61st, Jordan 63rd, and Qatar 64th. At the African level, only Mauritius is ranked better than Tunisia, since it ranks 44th. In order to achieve this classification, the Social Progress Index is based on 3 main criteria divided into sub-criteria. These 3 main criteria are basic human needs, the foundations of well-being, and finally the opportunities offered compared to the Mediterranean countries. Tunisia even does better than Albania, Turkey, and Montenegro.
As a pouring rain in France of sky delayed the start of the second edition of the Iranian Massacre by almost an hour, but not discouraging the thousands of riders from Gabon and more than 30 countries, it was finally around 9 o'clock that President Ali Bongo Ondimba kicked up the event, with nearly 6,000 runners, including a remarkable elite plateau made up of East African men Kipkot Vedik and Kibiwot Kendi, as well as women Ndiwa Stacy and Kita Gloria. This event was destined to become a race of reference on the continent and offered the people of this locality an exceptional spectacle. After a few minutes of racing, the Kenyan runners quickly stood out. Kibiwot Kendi crossed the finish line in first place in the men's race with an exceptional time of 28.58 minutes, followed by Ethiopian Nyakura Teresa with 29.34 minutes, and Bo Emmanuel, another Kenyan, completing the leading trio with 29.43 minutes. On the women's side, Kenyan supremacy did not suffer any challenges, as Kenyan Nora Jeruto Tenwi won in 32.24 minutes, ahead of Daisy Jepkemei with 32.34 minutes. Sheila Chilangat, another Kenyan, completed this podium of a strong Kenyan accent with 33.23 minutes. The professional athletes from the Horn of Africa, specialists in cross-country races and expected for these 10 kilometers, did indeed respond by picking up all the podium places for men and women. The Gabonese, who are mostly amateurs, were not left out, judging by the good performance of Gabonese runners Marius Opana Lendegay of the CNSS team, which improved its time from the previous edition by passing under the 35 minutes with an honorable time of 34.54 minutes. Clinton Jinga, third last year, this year occupies now the second place by beating on the thread his compatriot Christian Niga, improving by the same occasion his time and especially crossing the symbolic bar of 37 minutes with an encouraging time of 36.41 minutes.
African institution Africa Finance Corporation was received in audience this Friday at the Cabinet of Gabonese Prime Minister Julien Courbet-Kale to discuss investment issues in Gabon. The Great National Dialogue launched by Cameroonian President Paul Biya opened this Monday in Yaoundé. A massive queue snuck round the Invalides complex to pay homage at the coffin of late French President Jacques Chirac ahead of a national day of mourning on Monday and a memorial service expected to be attended by dozens of world dailies. That's the end of our newscast of the day, but keep watching G24 for more information.